Ocklawaha, a small town in Marion County, Florida. In 2023 epitomized rural America, with its red dirt roads, lush pine forests, and simple wooden homes. It exuded tranquility, yet beneath this serene facade simmered issues: poverty, lack of job opportunities, and a rise in petty crimes like theft and drug dealing. Teenagers, if not guided, easily veered onto dangerous paths. In this context, a group of Ocklawaha teens formed what police called a wannabe gang. Not professional criminals, they were kids aged 12 to 17 banding together for car thefts, robberies, or selling marijuana. They called their heists a lick-a-quick, risky way to make money. 6 teens: Layla Silvernail, 16; Michael Hodo Jr., 17; Camille Quarles, 16; Tajh Brewton, 16; Robert Robinson, 17; and Christopher Atkins. 12 were part of this group. They knew each other, committed thefts together, and shared moments that seemed like friendship. But on the night of March 30th, 2023, a robbery plan turned into a horrific tragedy, shattering Ocklawaha's peace forever. At around 10:48 p.m., on March 30th, 2023, the Marion County Sheriff's Office 911 Center received an urgent call from a resident in the Forest Lakes Park area of Silver Springs. The caller, a middle-aged man, reported finding a young girl collapsed near his trash cans, blood streaming from her head. She's still breathing, but barely. Please hurry. His voice trembled over the phone. Patrol units and an ambulance rushed to the scene. When police arrived, they found Layla Silvernail, 16, lying on the ground with a gunshot wound to her head. Layla, a popular softball athlete at Lake Weir High School, was known for her radiant smile and vibrant personality. She showed faint signs of life but was in critical condition. Paramedics rushed her to a hospital in Ocklawaha, where doctors fought to save her. However, due to the severity of her injury, Layla fell into a state of brain death and was pronounced dead the next day. March 31st, Layla's discovery by the trash cans shocked the community. Police sealed off the scene, collected evidence, and launched an investigation. They found a bullet casing near her body and tire marks, suggesting she may have been dumped from a moving vehicle. A nearby security camera captured a white car lightly hitting the trash cans before speeding away. Based on descriptions, police suspected it was Layla's own Chevrolet Cruze, but the car had vanished. Meanwhile, Layla's family was notified. Her parents, who thought she was out with friends, collapsed upon hearing the news. They couldn't fathom why their promising daughter became the victim of such a brutal attack. The community began to question, was this a random killing, or was something darker at play as police focused on finding Layla's killer? Another discovery rocked the case. On the morning of March 31st, around 7:50 a.m., a pedestrian near SE 94th Street and SE 188th Court, about half a mile from where Layla was found, spotted a body on the roadside. They immediately called 911, reporting it as a young male, apparently dead. The Marion County Sheriff's Office investigation team quickly arrived at the scene. The victim was identified as Michael Hodo Jr., 17, a former Lake Weir High School student who had dropped out 2 months earlier. Michael had been shot in the back of the head, his body found face down, as if he'd been shot and hastily abandoned. Investigators collected additional bullet casings at the scene, noting they matched the characteristics of those found near Layla Silvernail. This led police to suspect the 2 murders were connected. Michael's family, already worried when he didn't return home the previous night, received the devastating news from police. They described Michael as a quiet young man trying to turn his life around after dropping out. The discovery of a second body in less than 24 hours sparked fear in the Ocklawaha community. Some began to worry a serial killer was at large. But police urged calm, promising to resolve the case swiftly. The case took another turn on the morning of April 1st, when a resident near Malauka Loop and Malauka Loop Trace, about 9 miles from where Layla was found, reported a car partially submerged in a pond. Suspecting it could be Layla's Chevrolet Cruze, the Marion County Sheriff's Office, underwater recovery team was dispatched to the scene. When the car was pulled from the water, investigators uncovered a horrifying sight, the body of Camille Quarles. 16. Stuffed in the trunk. Camille had been shot twice, once in the chest and once in the head, and her body had begun to decompose due to being submerged. The discovery of Camille in the trunk confirmed that all 3 victims were killed around the same time. Notably, Camille was Layla's close friend and often hung out with Layla and Michael. Investigators began to theorize why all 3 were killed simultaneously and who could have executed such a coordinated attack. Attempting to dispose of evidence by sinking the car, investigators collected fingerprints, DNA, and debris from the vehicle, noting signs that multiple people had used it before it was abandoned. The car and its physical evidence became a critical link connecting the murders following Layla's discovery. The Marion County Sheriff's Office, led by Sheriff Billy Woods, launched a large-scale investigation. Billy Woods, with over 30 years of experience, determined the case was not a random killing. He focused on analyzing the following evidence. Mobile phones investigators recovered Layla and Michael's iPhones from the scenes and their homes. Messages, photos, and location data showed the 3 victims had been in contact with a group of friends on the night of March 30th, including Tajh Brewton, Robert Robinson, and Christopher Atkins. A photo on Layla's phone showed a firearm, suggesting the group was involved in criminal activity. DNA and fingerprints in Layla's car, particularly on the steering wheel, passenger seat, and trunk, matched Tajh Brewton, Robert Robinson, and Christopher Atkins, confirming they were in the vehicle on the night of the murders. A resident near Forest Lakes Park reported hearing 4 or 5 gunshots around 7:10 p.m. on March 30th and saw a white car leaving the area. A nearby home's security camera captured Layla's Chevrolet Cruze hitting a trash can before speeding off. Bullet casings at all 3 scenes shared similar characteristics, indicating the same handgun was used. Preliminary analysis identified it as a pistol, based on the evidence. Police concluded that all 3 victims were shot on the night of March 30th, with the killer deliberately leaving their bodies at different locations to mislead investigators. The submerged car was an attempt to destroy evidence, but the perpetrator left behind numerous clues. Using phone data and community tips, police quickly zeroed in on 3 suspects: Tajh Brewton, 16, with a criminal history including armed carjacking, aggravated assault, and tampering with an electronic monitoring device. Tajh was described as the group's unofficial leader. Robert Robinson, 17, previously arrested for school disruptions and linked to car thefts. Christopher Atkins, 12, the youngest member, yet involved in the group's criminal activities. All 3 knew the victims and had participated in robberies with them. Police determined the motive was tied to a marijuana robbery that escalated into murder due to betrayal within the group. What shocked investigators was that the perpetrators were all minors, yet capable of such heinous killings. These suspects were dropouts who formed a self-styled gang, specializing in stealing marijuana and cars. Having identified the suspects, the investigation team swiftly issued arrest warrants for the 3 perpetrators. On the morning of March 31st, shortly after Michael Hodo Jr.'s body was found, police pinpointed Robert Robinson as a suspect based on phone data. At the time, Robert Robinson was already detained at a juvenile facility for a school disturbance. During an interrogation with his mother present, Robert Robinson admitted to shooting Camille Quarles, stating she was still alive and could rat everyone out. He was transferred to Marion County Jail and faced murder charges. On the evening of April 6th, after analyzing additional DNA evidence and Robert Robinson's statements, police executed a search warrant at Christopher Atkins' home in Ocklawaha. Christopher Atkins, only 12, was arrested and questioned with a guardian present. Christopher Atkins confessed to shooting Camille Quarles under coercion from Robert Robinson, who threatened to kill his family if he didn't comply. Christopher Atkins was detained at Marion County Jail, becoming the youngest suspect in the case. Tajh Brewton, the final suspect, went on the run after the murders. Police labeled him armed and dangerous, offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to his capture. on April 8, U.S. Marshals and Lake County Police apprehended Tajh Brewton in Groveland, Florida, about 30 miles from Ocklawaha. He was initially arrested on prior warrants but later charged with first-degree murder, based on Robert Robinson and Christopher Atkins' confessions, along with physical evidence. Police reconstructed the case in detail 7:00 p.m. March 30th, the 6 teens Layla Silvernail, Michael Hodo Jr., Camille Quarles, Tajh Brewton, Robert Robinson, and Christopher Atkins met at an abandoned house in Ocklawaha to plan a marijuana robbery from an acquaintance. Layla Silvernail drove her Chevrolet Cruze with the group inside, 7:10 p.m., while driving. Robert Robinson and Christopher Atkins grew paranoid that Camille Quarles might snitch if the plan failed. Robert Robinson ordered Christopher Atkins to shoot Camille Quarles, threatening his family if he refused. Terrified, Christopher Atkins shot Camille Quarles in the chest inside the car. Robert Robinson then fired a second shot into Camille Quarles' head to ensure her death. 7:15 p.m., realizing Layla Silvernail and Michael Hodo Jr. could become witnesses, Tajh Brewton and Robert Robinson decided to kill them too. Layla Silvernail was shot in the head and dumped near trash cans in Forest Lakes Park. Michael Hodo Jr. was shot in the back of the head and left on a nearby road. 7:30 p.m. The suspects stuffed Camille Quarles' body in the trunk and drove to a pond at Malacca Loop. They attempted to sink the car but only partially succeeded due to shallow water. After 7:30 p.m., the suspects split up. Tajh Brewton fled, while Robert Robinson and Christopher Atkins returned home as if nothing happened. Confessions revealed the primary motive was robbery, but fear of betrayal drove the suspects to murder. Robert Robinson claimed Camille Quarles could have told everything if caught, while Christopher Atkins said he was coerced by Robert Robinson. Tajh Brewton, though not a shooter, allegedly agreed to the killings and helped dispose of the body. The murder weapon, a handgun stolen from a prior car theft, was recovered and confirmed as the weapon used in all 3 killings. Sheriff Billy Woods emphasized that easy access to firearms enabled the crime. On May 16, 2023, a grand jury approved the following charges: Tajh Brewton and Robert Robinson, 3 counts of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and tampering with evidence. Christopher Atkins, 1 count of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and tampering with evidence. All 3 were charged as adults, with Christopher Atkins becoming the youngest in Marion County to be prosecuted as such. They are held without bond at Marion County Jail, with trials scheduled for July 28, 2025. The Ocklawaha community held memorials for Layla Silvernail, Michael Hodo Jr., and Camille Quarles, expressing frustration over society's failure to protect its youth. Sheriff Billy Woods called for education and family reforms to prevent similar tragedies. That concludes today's case. Thank you for following along, and I hope you found it engaging. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest true crime cases.